Working husband wonders if his stay-at-home wife truly appreciates and loves him for all he does to provide and support their family. All right, so here's the deal. My name is Jack, and I've been busting my ass off at this marketing job for the past 10 years. The paycheck is decent, and it pays the bills, but man, the stress is no joke. Meanwhile, my wife, Emma, has been a stay-at-home mom since our first kid, Emily, was born. Don't get me wrong, I love my family, but lately, I've been feeling like Emma doesn't really appreciate what I do. It all started a few months back when I overheard her on the phone with her best friend, Lisa. I was in the garage fixing Emily's bike, and the window was open. She didn't know I could hear her, and what I heard wasn't exactly comforting. "I just feel so stuck, Lisa. Jack's never home, and when he is, he's too tired to even talk. I feel like a single mom most days." That hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, yeah, I work long hours, but it's all for them, right? To make sure they have a roof over their heads and food on the table. That night, I tried to talk to Emma about it. "Hey, Em, do you think we should maybe, talk more? Spend more time together?" She looked up from her phone, gave me a tired smile, and said, "Sure, Jack, we can try." But I could tell her heart wasn't in it. The next few weeks, I tried harder, came home a little earlier, helped out more with the kids, but it didn't seem to make a difference. Emma was always distant, lost in her thoughts. I even suggested a date night, but she brushed it off, saying she was too tired. I started to wonder if there was something more to her unhappiness. Did she even love me anymore? Did she appreciate all the sacrifices I was making? The doubt was eating me alive. So, I did what any paranoid husband might do. I started snooping around. Not my proudest moment, I know, but I had to know if there was something more going on. Maybe she was seeing someone else. The thought alone made me sick to my stomach. I checked her phone when she was in the shower. No suspicious messages. I looked through her social media, but everything seemed normal. Just posts about the kids and occasional rants about housework. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. One night, I decided to follow her when she went out for her usual mom's night out with Lisa. I know, creepy as hell. But I was desperate. I followed her car in my beat-up old truck, staying far enough behind that she wouldn't notice. She drove to this fancy restaurant downtown. I parked a little ways away and watched as she went inside. A few minutes later, Lisa showed up. They hugged, laughed, and went inside together. I felt like a complete idiot. Of course, she was just meeting her friend. Wait, what the hell was I thinking? But then, as I was about to drive away, I saw him. This tall, handsome dude in a suit walked up to the restaurant. He greeted Emma and Lisa with hugs and kisses on the cheek. They all looked so happy. I felt a knot in my stomach. Who was this guy? I went home feeling like absolute shit. I couldn't sleep, my mind racing with all sorts of wild thoughts. Was this guy just a friend? Or was he something more? I needed answers. The next morning, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I had to confront Emma about what I saw. Over breakfast, I casually asked, "So, how was your night out with Lisa?" She looked up, a bit surprised by my interest. "It was nice. We went to that new place downtown." I took a deep breath, trying to keep my voice steady. "Who was the guy you were with?" She froze for a moment, then her eyes narrowed. "Were you following me, Jack?" I didn't know how to answer that without sounding like a complete asshole. "I was just worried, Emma. You seemed so distant lately, and then I saw you with that guy." She sighed, rubbing her temples. "His name is David. He's Lisa's cousin. He's visiting from out of town, and she wanted us to meet him. There's nothing going on, Jack. Jesus, do you really think I'd cheat on you?" I felt like a complete jerk. "I don't know what to think anymore, Emma. You seem so unhappy, and I feel like I'm failing you and the kids." Her expression softened a bit. "Jack, I'm not unhappy because of you. I'm just overwhelmed. Staying at home with the kids is hard, and sometimes I feel like I'm losing myself. But I do appreciate everything you do for us. I love you." I wanted to believe her, but the doubt was still there. We spent the rest of the day tiptoeing around each other, trying to pretend everything was okay. Weeks passed, and things didn't really get better. We were both walking on eggshells, avoiding the deeper issues. I threw myself even more into work, trying to escape the tension at home. But the more I worked, the more distant Emma became. One evening, after another long day at the office, I came home to find Emma in tears. The kids were at my mom's for the weekend, so it was just the two of us. I rushed over to her, my heart pounding. "Emma, what's wrong?" She looked up at me, her eyes red and puffy. "Jack, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep pretending everything's fine when it's not. We need help." I felt a wave of panic. "Help? What do you mean?" "I think we need to see a therapist. We need to talk to someone who can help us figure this out. I love you, Jack, but we're not happy, and I don't want to lose you." The thought of therapy scared the crap out of me. I always thought it was for couples on the brink of divorce. But seeing Emma like this, so broken, I knew we had to try. "Okay, Em, we'll do it. We'll see a therapist." The next week we had our first session. It was awkward as hell sitting in that room with a stranger, pouring out our feelings. But the therapist, Dr. Morgan, was good. She got us talking, really talking for the first time in months. Emma opened up about how lonely she felt, how she missed the old me, the one who used to make her laugh, who used to listen. I admitted my fears, my insecurities about not being enough for her and the kids. Dr. Morgan gave us exercises to do at home, ways to reconnect and communicate better. It was hard work, but slowly we started to see some progress. We were learning to appreciate each other again, to find that spark that brought us together in the first place. It wasn't an overnight fix. We had our ups and downs, our moments of doubt and frustration, but we were committed to making it work. I cut back on my hours at the office, made more time for Emma and the kids. We started having regular date nights, just the two of us, rediscovering what we loved about each other. One night, after a particularly good session with Dr. Morgan, we were lying in bed, talking about the future. Emma looked at me, her eyes full of hope. "Jack, I think we're going to be okay." I smiled, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. "Yeah, I think we will be." We still had a long way to go, but for the first time in a long time, I felt like we were on the right path. I knew I needed to keep working on myself, to be a better husband and father. And Emma was doing the same, finding ways to take care of herself, to feel more fulfilled. Our love was still there, buried under the stress and doubts, but it was strong enough to pull us through. We were learning to appreciate each other, to communicate, and to fight for our family. And that's how we saved our marriage. It wasn't easy, and it took a lot of hard work and honesty, but it was worth it. Emma and I are stronger now, more connected than ever. And I know that no matter what comes our way, we can face it together.